red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. Sophia, I hope you are all doing well. It's a fine Sunday morning here in Wolverhampton and I hope the weather is shining where you are as well. Obviously it is game day, a weird one today because we're not kicking off until 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, which is a bit bizarre. But I kind of like it because it means United can't ruin my weekend. I can enjoy my weekend and then have United at the end of it. That's not the way we should be thinking about it though. Obviously we need to be thinking positive going into this game against Everton. We need to bounce back after that City game. Ammonia midweek, let's be honest, we weren't really convincing. So I think this game is a game where we really need to lay down a marker and put a statement out, really, because we have been obviously showing in flashes, I'd say, but we've still been inconsistent, still seeing the same frailties as you saw against the goal we conceded against Ammonia in the week. So yeah, I think this is a dodgy game. To be honest, I always think Everton away is a dodgy game, but I think in particular this season, because obviously I think they've made a few good signings. Connor Cody coming in, Tchaikovsky coming in, Dwight McNeil. There's been a few players that have come in who you think improve them. Obviously, Garner's gone there as well. But I think this game is a bit of a dodgy game, especially away at Everton. So our away form, to be fair, hasn't been dreadful. But like I say, no team, to be fair, in the Premier League is a pushover, but in particular Everton away, I think they're going to be up for it. And we definitely need to bring our A game. We need to be there from the start. And if we're not, then I do feel that we could be in for a disappointing evening. So, yeah, this is a really awkward one to call. And obviously, I'm going to say hello to everyone in the chat as well. I want to hear your lineups. So I just wanted to do a quick preview before the game today because, like I say, I feel it's a big game and one that needed to be previewed. Hello to Stone Cold Lee, said 2-0 United against Everton. Hello to Akevin. Game day antics, hope you are well. I'm doing very well, thank you, Akevin, and I hope you're doing well too. I missed a few lives. Good luck today if you have a match today. Balham, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are doing well. You might have heard, but I'm not currently playing at the moment. I am signed for Kidderminster the Harriers still, but at the moment I'm taking a bit of time out to focus on my career. I'm still playing like five-a-side and stuff like that, but I'm just not playing every Sunday at the moment. So yeah, thank you for that though. I do appreciate it. Mystic Werewolf, hello to you. Hello to Paul as well. We will win if Rashford, Martial and Anthony are the front three. Well, it's funny you should say that because I'm going to go through my lineup very, very shortly. But yeah, that front three is what I've gone for. And I'm going to tell you mine now. So in the chat, get your 11s in what you predict will happen or what you would like to happen. And I'm going to say mine. So I've gone with De Gea in goal, Delo at right back, Martinez and Lindelof, Luke Shaw. I think he deserves a start, to be honest. I thought the subs of the day made an impact, and I think Luke Shaw, even though I really like Malacia, I do think if it's based on form and what Ten Hag's been doing, then I feel like Shaw should get the nod for this game. I'd put Casemiro in, I'd put Eriksen in, and I'd put Bruno in that midfield. Maybe even Casemiro and Fred, to be fair, if he wants to short it up a little bit more. But yeah, Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno is my midfield three. And then a front three, as you've already said earlier, I've gone for Anthony, Rashford and then Martial as my front three as well. And to be honest with you, I think I'd like to see Martial coming in off the left as well. I wouldn't mind seeing them interchange a bit because I feel like Martial is really effective coming in off the left. So with the form that he's been in, obviously scoring again in midweek and Rashford coming in and playing as well as he did, I feel like them two deserve to start. Ronaldo, I don't think Ronaldo necessarily played dreadful. I don't think he played bad, but he just can't seem to score at the moment. So that's why I put Martial in over him. And like I say, Anthony, he's just his manager and he's Ten Hag's man. So I feel like Anthony gets a start as well. My 11, Dubravka, Shaw, Varane. Is Varane fully fit to come back in? If Varane is fit, obviously, of course, I'll take Lindelof straight out of that, but I'm just basing it on the fact that I don't think he's fully fit. But Dubravka, Shaw, Varane, Martinez, Delo, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Martial, and Anthony. Very similar, apart from the keeper and Varane, very similar to my lineup as well. You've also gone for Luke Shaw, which is interesting to see. Balham says Donny van der Beek will play for a little bit, 5 changes, and he had a loan there last season, as we know. Donny's just, I know he's had his injuries and stuff as well, but Donny, I read reports recently that he basically he's surplus to requirements, like we don't need him, and it seems that way. Like I'm a bit confused as to Ten Hag bigging him up so much and then him not really cutting it. It's worrying signs for Donny. I don't think he'll play, no. Hello to Stephen. It says, morning, I'm nervous about our game today. How's you feeling about our game? Your game is an interesting one, to be fair, because Arsenal, other than City, Arsenal have been the standout team this season. I think Arsenal a much improved side. Liverpool are not really at it, are they? But you do feel like with Liverpool, it's going to take that one game and then they'll just kind of kick into action. Maybe this could be the turning point for them today. In terms of how I'm feeling looking at it, I think it's going to be entertaining. I think there's going to be a few goals. Yeah, maybe even like a penalty or a red card or something might define that game. I think it's going to be a tight affair. I hate to say it, but I could see Arsenal picking it just because of their confidence at the minute. They just seem sky high. But if you get an early goal, who knows, they could crumble. We'll see if the old Arsenal comes back. We'll see. Zio said, there was a league team or no? I haven't seen a league team, Zio. I'll be honest, I haven't seen one. But for me, like I say, Delo, Martinez, Lindelof, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Anthony, Rashford, Martial as a front three, which I'd love to see that as a front three, to be honest with you. I don't think De Gea will get dropped. What's the reason that we are kicking off at 7 o'clock? I don't know, to be honest. Is it because we played in Europe, played 4 hours away maybe, and they've pushed it back? Because I believe we were meant to be the early kickoff on Saturday, but because of European football, we couldn't be. So maybe just to cram it in, like they felt the Sunday evening was the best. It's a really weird kickoff time, isn't it? But like I say, I like it because it means United can't ruin my weekend, because I can have all my weekend and United just top it off. I mean, I could leave a sour end to it, but other than that, they can't spoil my weekend. Good morning to you as well, Ian. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are doing well. My score predictions for this one, I actually think it's going to be a tighter game than most people think. I feel there'll be goals either way, especially with Lindelof starting. It's really hard, you know. I think if we go with that front three, we can definitely cause them problems. I'm going to say 3-2 to United. Like I said, I think it's going to be tight, but I do think that we can pick them going forwards. I think we've got enough quality going forwards to cause them issues, and I feel like we can beat them 3-2. Like I said, Connor Cody at the back, Tchaikovsky at the back. They have made some very good signings, but I still feel like we've got too much quality. Surely, if we are on it, then definitely, yeah, we can definitely score goals against them. It's a 1 a.m. game for me. That's rough. That's rough. Giving. Are you having a nap beforehand and waking up for it, or are you staying up for the entire time? I'm predicting a tight 2-1. Yeah, so you see, I've 3-2, 2-1 to you, Paul, as well. I think it is going to be tight. Exactly our weekend can't be ruined. So I mean, it's quite a nice time. It's a weird time because we're not used to it, but it's a nice time. And Belham, if Ronaldo comes on today, I would love him to get a 700th goal. He just seems desperate for that goal at the moment, doesn't he? He just won't go in for him. Like I said, I don't think he played bad in midweek. Yeah, obviously many opportunities, he's just not going in. And I just feel like once that one goal goes in, I'm hoping that you don't really think about lack of confidence in Ronaldo in the same sentence, do you? But I do think at the minute in front of goal, he's lacking that confidence because he's just not going in. So hopefully one goal will encourage him then and push him on further, because I do feel like the performances are getting there. It's just that final part of it now. Staying up because there's other sports and Arsenal vs Liverpool. Arsenal vs Liverpool is going to be a good one. I'm actually out for Sunday lunch, so I'm going to be constantly peeping at my phone, looking at the score on that one. McTominay plays well against small clubs, but against big clubs like Man City, he's lost and clueless. As Mr. Our midfield was clueless. We had no midfield against City, let's be honest. We had no one in there. The Glazers should sell Manchester United ASAP to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and get our football club back. Yeah, Samuel, Glazers out. You know, we always stand by it. Glazers out, and we keep reiterating that message. We're not forgetting it at all. I saw a lot of people like criticising Ten Hag after that City game. And for me, like, I think it just indicates realistically where we are. We knew it was never going to be a quick fix. City getting Haaland in, we're always going to be another machine. Like, all of us were a bit like going into that thinking, oh, we could get absolutely smashed here, and we did get smashed. We scored 3, which it still baffles me how we did that. But I think you have to take the positives from it. For me, Ten Hag is still building his team, isn't it? The signings that he has made, I think, have been very effective. And I just feel like we've got to give him time, and we always knew that. And it's like the second we get a loss or a damaging loss, people like forget that we said all along we need to be patient with this guy and we need to trust him. So yeah, I didn't really agree with that criticism. Like I say, Man City are just a force to be reckoned with. They're on their own, aren't they? And for me, the best team in the world at the moment. Like with Haaland there, with De Bruyne in the form they're in, they're just ridiculous, absolute machine. But if he gets injured or De Bruyne gets injured, it'd be interesting to see like if that'll have a toll on Haaland's goals, because let's face it, nothing else is stopping him at the minute because he's an absolute joke. And it kills me to say that, but sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say, you know what, he's a player. He's a player. Mystic said, I don't think the Glazers will sell anytime soon. Mystic said, I don't like Ten Hag counter-attacking approach to most games. But you can't get away with it in every game, can you? Because you know that teams will cotton onto it and teams will sit in, and then that kind of forces you to have a plan B. The important thing is that we do have a plan B, which we've seen over previous seasons we haven't had. And I'm hoping that Ten Hag can instill that. For the time being, I get it, he's trying to instill a system with the players and whatnot. But long term, we can't rely on that counter attack, and I totally agree with you there. We can't. We need to be more a possession based team. I saw Neville talking about it, saying you very rarely win a title with a counter attacking system. One or two teams have done it as a one off, but consistently you can't do that. So, be interesting to see what the plan B is for Ten Hag and how he approaches it. Obviously, more signings to come, but it is still a work in progress. So after the City game, like I said to many people on my show, I wasn't too downbeat about it. We scored 3 against them. We won the second half. They're way better than us. We have to accept that they're way better than us, and we have to take the positives out. And I'm hoping that today we can bounce back in the league and we don't take that result too personally, because I feel like we need to kick on now and we can't dwell on that. Eric Ten Hag should be playing Garnacho and McNeil. Yeah, Garnacho is an interesting one because obviously he's been on the bench a few times and stuff, but he hasn't really figured. A lot of people had high hopes from this season. Maybe in Europa League, maybe we'll see him feature at some point, but yeah, I'd like to see a bit more of him for sure. But obviously, with Anthony coming in, I guess that always lessened his chances a little bit this season, didn't it? Because obviously, both being wide players and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. So get your score predictions in the chat, guys, for the game later on. And also get your score predictions in for the Liverpool-Arsenal game. That I'll really find that one hard to call. I think it could be a draw or it could go either way. Like, it's one of them. It depends how the teams turn up. I said I could see Arsenal maybe pipping it, but I think if Liverpool come out of the blocks and they score early, then we know how damaging they can be. And if Nunes is on form, which he hasn't been up to yet, but you do feel like his time will come, then I think it could be an interesting one. I think I prefer a draw, obviously, as a neutral, but yeah. Mystic says 1-1. I am sceptical. I think we have to be sceptical going up against Everton away. We have to be sceptical. They're going to be up for it. Every team is up for it when United are in town. But they've got some new signings as well. So, yeah, I feel like we definitely have to be on our toes and we have to start quick in this one and we have to be on it. None of these like reckless passes to start off and setting off an early yellow card like Delo got last week. Like, we don't want any of that. We want a positive start and a short start. And I'd have no doubt that we have enough quality going forwards. Ten Hag needs to be a bit less stubborn with his lineup. Start Casemiro, drop McTominay and Sancho, and also start Martial. Well, yeah, obviously in my lineup, I've done all of that. I've dropped McTominay, I've dropped Sancho, and I've started Martial. Sancho's been disappointing. The thing for me, yeah, you saw Anthony do it once against Ammonia in the week where he like beat 3 man down the line and he just kept going and going and going, and in the end he won a free kick. We don't see our wingers beat a man enough. Even Anthony, like in that game, he felt like he had him isolated. You like just go at him a bit, and he always wants to cut in on that left. And Sancho's doing exactly the same on the right, always wants to stop, come back, or come in, and it becomes too predictable. I want to see the wingers getting at them, which is why I said I wouldn't mind seeing Martial out on the left or Rashford out on the left today. Someone who can be a bit more direct and get at them, because I think Sancho's been playing a bit too safe, and whether it's confidence, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like our wingers have been scared to get at them. And I think if they can get at them today, like I say, in the fullback areas, I do think we can cause Everton some issues. Once he gets his squad he wants, I think the football will change. He's still building Lawbreaker. I get that. He's still building. Haaland was 22-1 to beat Shearer's 35 in a season record. Seems now done already, barring aside from that 1-1 today. 11 today, sorry. Yeah, he's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And I saw it. Is it Rory, the Chelsea fan? I saw a video of him with Fogden when he said that Haaland would be looking to get 15 goals. He didn't think he was going to cut it in the Premier League. Not straight away anyway. And then he's literally scored 15 already. It's an absolute joke. I want Arsenal to wipe the floor with Liverpool, says Agavin. There's a good chance they could win. There's a good chance, but it could go either way. That's such a hard one to call. And does Manchester United need a modern-day goalkeeper to replace De Gea? Long term, yeah, I do think we do. I do, but I don't think that's priority at the moment in terms of Ten Hag. I think he's more looking at strengthening the areas in the 11. But I think goalkeeper-wise, we do need to stop looking. De Gea's been there for an eternity. You'd say he's not at his best. And obviously we're playing a different way now. We want to play up from the back and we want to be comfortable doing that. And De Gea just doesn't strike me as that goalkeeper, does he? So if I do think long-term the goalkeeper would be an issue, but it's just not priority right now for Ten Hag. Mornington Neil says, morning Sophie and everyone, 2-1 to Everton against United and Arsenal 2-1 against Liverpool. Interesting. I hope you're wrong on the United prediction, but it is a dodgy game, as I've already said. It's a dodgy one, and hopefully we can come out on top in that one. And Stone Cold Lee says 3-1. The thing is, with this league, there's no easy game. Is that anybody can beat anybody on the day, and Everton is always one of them dodgy games for me where you just feel like anything could happen. They could easily beat us. They could turn us over like they have in the past, or we could. If they don't turn up, we know we can definitely score goals against them. So I think it's an awkward one. It all basically hinges on how we turn up, and we have to be at it today. We have to be on it, and I'm hoping after travelling to Cyprus in midweek, we can get on it. Players like Eriksen, I'm hoping that they're not going to be too burned out. Haaland has scored 45 goals each season until he's 38 to match Ronaldo's record. I think he'll do. It's crazy That is crazy, and that, to be fair, that's a massive compliment to Ronaldo as well, isn't it? When you think about his goal scoring record, is ridiculous. Some people are calling David Beckham and Gary Neville hypocrites for sponsorship of Qatar. There's many controversial opinions on the Qatar World Cup and whether it should have even been there or not, and the timing of it as well. I still don't know how I feel about the World Cup in general, being this time of the season. Like I said, I don't think players are really fully up to speed at this point. I just think it's a weird one, and I don't really know what to expect from the tournament. Obviously, I love tournament football, and I'm obviously going to be watching it. But does anyone know what time the kickoffs are actually? Because I read a tweet saying some kickoffs are at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If someone could confirm that, I'd appreciate it, because I'm working then, and I'm definitely talking to the head teacher at work saying I'm putting it on in my room because I can't be missing any World Cup games for England. But yeah, if anyone knows what time the kickoffs games are, because I actually don't know that for the World Cup. I'm sure I read a tweet saying 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. 7 p.m. obviously is cool, but 2 p.m. is a bit of an awkward one for most people, I'd imagine. But yeah, the World Cup being at that time it is, I think it's a bit of a strange one. I don't really know how to react to it. Obviously, being Qatar as well is controversial. But it's tournament football. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't feel very optimistic about England, I'll be honest, especially after the way it's gone for Southgate the last few months or so. But you still can't help but get sucked into it. You can't help but get sucked in, and obviously you want your country to win. And seeing Brazil play as well, it's just, yeah, Brazil is always my go-to team apart from England because I just find them so entertaining. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm a bit baffled at the timing and stuff. I know that's going to affect the season after that as well. It's crazy because the season, as you know now, the league, as you know now, could totally flip after this World Cup because certain players could get injured or whatnot. Players could obviously be fatigued. I think it's really interesting to see how it's going to affect the season. So why don't you record the games? Because I work with kids. I work with year 7 to 11, so they're going to spoil it for me. They're going to tell me the score. There's no way of avoiding a spoiler. But yeah, I'd have to do that, wouldn't I, if I can't watch it? But I'd love to be able to watch it live. Would you have James Maddison at United? I think Maddison's a quality player. I see him more going to Arsenal than United, I'll be honest. I'll take him, but yeah, I just don't think right now he'd come to United. I think Arsenal is the team I could see him leaving Leicester for, and he would definitely improve them as well, because I do think he's a very good player, and he's standing out this season for Leicester, who have been struggling, to be fair. Yeah, so there you go. Lawbreaker England kick off against Iran is at 1 p.m. So how are people going to be watching that? Surely that people are going to allow a bit of leverage to watch that game. Hopefully I'm wrong. United win and Arsenal Liverpool game is a draw. Hopefully, Neil, that would be nice. Soph, honest assessment of Bruno. I think he tries too hard. I think his work rate and whatnot and all the basics he's got right, but when he gets the ball, and when these wonder balls come off, it looks amazing. But when it doesn't, it's so infuriating, especially when you play like we do and we don't have much possession, and when you're getting it and you're just rashly giving it away. It's very frustrating. And I think Bruno, sometimes you just need to play the little 1-2s. He needs to keep it simple. He's a very intelligent player. Sometimes maybe a bit too intelligent, and he's definitely too much on the front foot. When he gets the ball, he's trying to rush it, he's trying to force it. Sometimes you just need to calm it a little bit. That's what I'd say. I think he's always trying to be over elaborate and trying to play that wonder ball when actually a more effective one would be a little 1-2 at that time. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'd say. I think he's trying too hard. I love Bruno. Like I say, his work and everything like that, you can't fault it. But on the ball, especially when we're a counter-attacking team and we need to take care of it when we've got it, Bruno at the moment isn't really doing that. And I think that's where he needs to improve. Just keeping it simple. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be a worldie of a ball, does it? And yeah, that would be my advice for Bruno. But like I say, I love him. And I'm sure he'll come good. I think he's still shown this season the involvements he's had in goals and stuff, how influential he can be for us. But just imagine if he was doing that on a more consistent basis rather than just giving it away. And I'm sure Ten Hag has been having a talk with him as well, because obviously when you're getting the ball, you want us to be clinical, and we haven't been. We haven't been clinical. Hopefully today we see that from Bruno and from United, but who knows? But yeah, guys, I was trying to do a really quick preview for tonight's game. Hopefully we'll be smiling after it, and it won't ruin our weekend. It'll be a nice little cherry on top for what's been a lovely weekend. But yeah, plenty of football today. Make sure you guys enjoy. Like I say, I'm going for Sunday lunch, so I'll definitely be checking on the score for the Arsenal-Liverpool game this afternoon, and I'll be back in time for the United-Everton game. But come on, United. 3-2 is my prediction. If I have missed your predictions, or if you haven't made one yet, or you want to put a comment underneath the video, I'll always reply to you guys there. And if you are new, of course, please hit the like on the video, the subscribe button on Ladies in Red. And like I said, drop a comment underneath and I'll always reply there. And guys, if you are interested for some more football content, I am live very shortly at 12 o'clock over on ECL Official on Twitch. And I'll be continuing my FIFA 23 United career mode. So if you want a football fix before all the games start today, come and join me over there at 12 o'clock. And yeah, it should be a good one. All I have to say is have a lovely weekend. Come on, United. Take care.